Hello, happy gardeners. Welcome back to Stinky Ditch Nursery. We've got Franklin on camera. So, Frank.
Hello.
And today I'd like to do a quick vid about mental health. We're all talking about it now, thank the Lord. This is something that affects an awful lot of people in this country, and with lockdown that we've had, people are starting to suffer with anxiety and depression, and they've never known it before. I go up and down like a yo-yo. I have done all my life, and I'm aware of this, and it's about this time of year I normally start to have funny things happening, so I keep a check on myself. Now, if you suffer with these sort of things, and you have done throughout the years, you will know that your nearest and dearest are always the first to notice something's going on, and you're in complete denial yourself. If you don't nip these things in the bud, they can lead down some very, very dark paths, and so it's always best to sort of keep on top of it. So each week, at the moment, I ask myself 3 questions, or I do 3 things, and Frank's got them written down in front of me, and if you would like to read out the first one, Frank.
Have you been having disproportionate emotional reactions?
This is something that's quite hard to know yourself, because when you have a disproportionate emotional reaction, you don't really know it yourself, unless you're in a room with 5 other people, and you're laughing your head off about something that really isn't that funny, and they are, or you get very upset about something that isn't quite so upsetting. Sometimes you could have a situation where you're crying over your sandwiches at lunchtime and laughing your head off at something on the radio on the way home from work. You know that your emotions are jumping up and down. I found that one way I catch myself out with this sometimes is I'll see an advert on the telly, and I will think it is the most hilarious thing that has ever been written. I will laugh so much, I will Google the person that wrote this advert, you know, to find out who this comedy genius is, and I'll watch it a couple of days later, and it's really not that funny. And so I know that I've had a disproportionate emotional reaction. And you keep an eye on those. What's the next thing we've got to do, Frank?
Check your phone.
You check your phone, have a look, see if you've got loads of missed calls, see if you've got loads of messages that aren't answered. Have a look and see if you've been messaging people a lot more than normal, sending extremely long messages. Just have a look at your phone. I know that some GPs now are using this technology to keep an eye on their up and downy patients, and they got access to their phone, not what's going on with it, not the messages themselves, but just knowing if there are lots of missed calls, lots of unread messages, things like this. You can sort of check yourself and see, why is your phone doing that? Why are you reacting like that? And anyway, the last thing I ask myself is
Food, sleep and vices.
food, sleep and vices. Are you eating less or more? Are you struggling to eat because you're very anxious and you've got lots and lots of anxiety, so that you know you've got adrenaline going in yourself? Try and keep yourself eating. Sleep, are you not sleeping properly? And vices, if you're a smoker or a drinker, are you smoking or drinking a lot more than you normally do? These are all sort of indications that something's going on in your head, and as most human beings, we're always in denial. We always want to think that we want to be happy all the time and all the rest of it. And sometimes that, you know, you need to keep an eye on yourself in this way. The food thing is also very important. You've got to keep the food going in there. A normal anxiety of breakfast of 3 cups of coffee and 4 cigarettes and a banana, make yourself feel better about it, ain't going to cut it, you know. Just try and eat something nutritious first thing in the morning, middle of the day, and last thing at night. And try and keep you sleeping. Now, I know this is easy to say, but it's very hard to keep an eye on your own brain, but it's worth doing. You can stop yourself getting quite seriously ill through doing this. In this country, suicide amongst men is still the highest killer for between, I think it's 20 and 49 or something like that. It kills more men than anything else. This is a serious issue. However, during lockdown, the rate of this has not gone up. It's sort of pretty much stabilised. The information I'm getting for this is from Philip Hammond's column in Private Eye that he writes fortnightly under the name MD. It's the most sensible piece of journalism that I've read over the last year and a half about the pandemic and about these sort of situations. The worrying thing about this is the recorded rates of suicide and self-harm and eating disorders amongst children during the pandemic has risen. This is something that's put many hospitals, our local hospital here, Bristol, on alert with these things that are happening at the moment. This is going up. This is going up. Now, I don't know what the solution to this is, but I know that a lot of people, when they're in this sort of situation, they Google stuff. Now, if you Google something like that, the first thing that comes up is going to be the Samaritan's helpline or some sort of helpline if you're in any country. Phone it. Phone it. Before you do anything else, you phone that. a moment of madness can cause an awful lot of pain for an awful lot of people, and it does not solve anything. We've got a new health secretary now in this country, and I'd really like to see him address this problem. The funding from youth mental health things have been taken away slowly over the last 10 years, and it's led to an increase in terrible, terrible things happening. So if he could sort of put a bit of money in that direction, that would be good. Anyway, this has been Robbie Phoenix, down at Stinky Ditch Nursery, talking about keeping an eye on your mental health, and thanks for watching.